Hello, I'm here. I've been very, very, very busy. Um, I didn't know I was too busy until today. And, what I mean by that is I was getting a lot done. Things were clicking. This thing that I was working towards is going to be awesome. Um, I but I didn't know until today that I had actually been riding the hypomanic wave um, until within seconds. I've said this before. I can't describe to some people how fast a mood shift can occur. From one extreme to the next. Um, like, like a brick. Suddenly, everything I did was shit. And I was an idiot to think that I could do this and come out looking successful. And I'm not talking about the dog training. Somehow, the depressive brain will weed out the true things, and toss them aside or hide them from you. So all you see are the things that didn't work out so well or to as you'd hoped. So I'm talking about the broom thing. Um, I've mentioned brooms before. That's what all this. I've been gone. I've been I haven't painted in a while. I'm almost done though, but I've been making these brooms because I had a goal of 25 for the Renaissance Festival 3-day weekend that I'm going to have a tent at. Now, I'm realizing that I if I sold every one, I probably wouldn't even make the amount of money it took to make them. But I had been telling everyone and myself that I was doing it just for the experience. I always wanted to do it, learn new things, and I think it would have gone better. It hasn't happened yet, so I don't know how it's gonna go. But what I mean is, I would have more confidence if I didn't have um, the hand problem, the tremor. I actually have Xanax actually helps the tremor a lot, but it doesn't help with the coordination of my fingers. The message from my brain to my fingers on how to tie a knot, and having my right arm jerking away. And so I didn't put as much detail in them because of it's really a lot harder now. And I thought, well, from before it got worse, I have some brooms that can go at a higher price, and the others that don't have quite as much detail can just go at a lower price. Everybody's got to be able to afford something in your um, booth tent. I have a tent. I don't have a booth, but um, it was just so hard how I fell and how fast it I went from being utterly convinced and excited and clear and realistic. That's all the things I was feeling. And then in like 2 seconds, I'm just gonna get in bed and not get out. So, um, and then all of a sudden, everything looks ugly and stupid and sad. And so I don't know how are we supposed to know what is real? When you're high, everything's fantastic. When you're low, everything sucks. And you're like a slug. Whereas when you're high, you have energy and ideas. When you're down, you're foggy. Where is the reality? Do we actually ever spend any time in what everyone else is experiencing as reality? Are we constantly doing this and we don't even realize it because I don't know. This update is not about me giving any advice or words to boost you. I'm at a total loss right now. Usually what I do can I just say one thing? I hate bipolar disorder. Because even when I do have a real good idea, I think they think I can't do it because they probably just think I'm talking mania and it'll never happen and just nodding with me. I hate it. I hate it. I hate bipolar disorder so much. Try to be a good example, which I am. I mean, considering the statistics, like, for example, people talk about writing books. That's a big topic for people with bipolar disorder. I'm going to write a book. And anyone that knows that person has bipolar disorder automatically thinks that they are just talking out their manic ass. I wrote a book. I have it. It's not published, but I wrote something very long, but focused, with a plot in characters and development, I actually, did what I set out to do. But when I just like jokingly say, I just wanted to see if I could do it. And it is slightly autobiographical, but I'm not writing my memoir, my bipolar memoirs or anything like that. It's a different kind of story. But I'm like, I wrote a book, but it's just sitting on my shelf, and if they know I have bipolar disorder, they just look at me like she's talking crazy. I can go over and I can get it for you right now. This is what was going to be the cover. This is like part of it. When I wrote this is about, there was a point where I ended up being hospitalized, but I finished it when I came back. But I mean, I actually wrote it out in pencil. Chapter 1's here. Here's chapter 2. Here's chapter 3. Here's, it has a beginning and ending. It tells a story about, I'm not crazy. Just because I have bipolar disorder doesn't mean I'm crazy. Anyway, it's just that, people do tend to not take us seriously when we have an ambition, and they have doubts that we can follow through to actually succeed. And they kind of humor us. That is the worst thing anyone can ever do to me, is humor me. Just go along with it. She's just go along with it and it'll dissipate later, But anyway, the depression thud. What I usually do is, sorry, that must have been loud when I bumped into that. Is that I go through the motions of everything I'm supposed to do that day, and I understand that it is going to lift, but I don't know when. And I'm like, well, it better hurry up because I have stuff to get done. The whole revolving door of negative thoughts. What were you thinking? You really think you can do anything? Succeed at anything? And then so I'm supposed to not be black and white, always negative. Life is not always negative. think of one positive thing. And there is one positive thing. There is one thing that I know because I have got enough outside feedback and direct feedback, is that I know dogs. So I know that's not a mania thing. I don't think I am a famous dog trainer. I am a dog trainer, but my philosophies in dog training lie in I'm looking to better the relationship. I'm not looking to turn your dog into a robot. And I get down on the ground with the dog, if that's what it takes. I make the course longer if that's what it takes for me to. I can look at a dog and I can't. I'm not a dog, so, and I tell everybody that. I don't care how much you say you know dogs, you are not a dog. So we can't know dog in that sense of what it's like for them. But if you're a person like me who dislikes people because oftentimes you cannot trust what they say, people are quick to betray, gossip, talk smack, and then look at you and say one thing and think another or do another. And I can be in the presence of a dog and not say a freaking word and communicate. I could never. I would try to help my staff when I worked at the animal shelter. And like, if you would have a dog that you have aggression is so different for each dog, but they do tend to land in categories. And so there were people who are just afraid of every dog that gave a sort of aggressive noise or stance or something. And I'm like, that dog is actually afraid. If you just go in, don't look at it, move purposefully but slowly, don't flail your arms around, just go in and walk towards their butt to get to the back of their water bowls. They will mirror that like a magnet, like this, and do the bowls and leave, like walk towards their butt, and they'll hurting. And I'm like, that's all you gotta do, but they just didn't have that. And I've had people tell me, well, it's because you're I don't know, smaller stature, I have a softer voice, other things. But really what it is when I would take a dog out in the back for some exercise, I would sit down and watch the dog. When somebody would come to meet a new dog to see if they'll adopt, I watched. I did the behavior assessments. I knew, oftentimes the back end saying one thing and the front end saying another. So, I know that I do have that, and I'm not deluding myself. But people assume that I couldn't do it. And, or I was like my nurse practitioner, psych nurse practitioner, when I left the shelter working there, and I told her I'm going to I'm going to go into dog training. She actually had to ask me, because I have bipolar disorder, if I, and you have the qualifications for that, right? Like, I was just pulling a bipolar mania idea out of the sky, and I'm gonna go be a dog trainer. I'm like, yeah, I've been dog training at the shelter while I worked there, groups and one on one. And I know what I liked about their program, and I know what I would have changed if I had my own program. And that has worked. The vets, the my clients go to their vets, they say great things about me, and the vets tell me, I just keep hearing great things. And I have a Facebook page with reviews and stuff that is very good. And people are always like, oh my God, I didn't know my dog could do that. Usually, the mistake people make, and I know this is, I just have to finish this, is people are too quick to action and talk. Is chill out a minute, watch the dog, watch what it does. Don't talk, you know? So, they approach dogs like they approach people, and that's where it happens. So, I would say most of what I do is teaching. Is, like how to, you see that the way his tail is, his ears are, his tail, yeah, this is good, but so anyway, I'm maybe starting to talk myself out of the depression a little bit. I have to be honest and say that everything we do, we can't succeed at everything we do. And anything that doesn't work, we either figure out how to do it better next time or move on to the next project. My sadness comes to when people assume we can't do things, have ambition and an idea for our future, and they just like are too quick to chalk it up to, well, are you manic? No, this is for real. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do, and I can do it. And it would be nice if I could get some support on your part. So I guess I just have to tell myself, the one thing I'm terrified of is that I'm going to go to this Renaissance Festival. I'm going to have this really nice, which it is a nice tent. I fixed it up nice. It's not white pop-up. It's cool. But people are going to buy stuff from me and then like come back and say it's falling apart, it sucks. I want my money back. So, and I was asking my mom, well, how much do you think I should charge for this one? That was a mistake. she's just pessimistic. Um, but I do have to say this about I already succeeded with the Renaissance Festival in that I did all the paperwork and meeting the criteria to have to even participate. I did that all by myself, and I usually, without freaking, and I usually have tantrums and try to force my mom to help me or do it with me, and I just, I just managed. I set goals, like little goals. Um, I'm gonna get, I'm gonna get this form filled out and sent in. Then I'll worry about the other forms. So, in that sense, I've already succeeded. Now, if someone could please tell me how to cancel my Audible subscription, that thing is driving me crazy. Um, so, just rambling to you guys has made me feel a little bit better. Um, I just and I know you probably have experienced it where you have an idea or you want to do something and you get that look that they don't give to like the person standing next to you if they said the exact same thing. I have an idea, I'm going to do this. They don't get that look, but you do because you have bipolar disorder, and any ambitious idea you have means you're manic. Um, and that is something that needs to be spoken out loud a lot because it hurts when you get that. If they don't even have to say anything, it's a look, you know. Just bipolar disorder, ignore that. Or I'll ignore it and that idea will go away. It hurts, especially when you want to do something to better your life. I don't want to have, a hermit. I don't like people, but I mean, I want to be, I want to live my life. I don't want to just sit at home and take medication. I'm taking the medication so I can have a life outside of home. So, some people need to check their attitude, their disbelief at the door, and be more supportive. That's what I think. And if you have someone in your life that is like that, let them watch this video and I'll say it. Don't disbelieve every idea we have, because we can do great things. We can do great little things. Selling soap at the county fair. Come on. Support me a bit. Don't laugh at my ideas like I'm crazy. Help me. So, and some people do want you to stay sick so you'll stay in that bubble with them. I don't. I want to go out and do stuff. Alright, well, I'm going to go because I have to stick. Whenever I have a depression, if I stick to the schedule strictly, it usually vacates quicker. So I have to go do my thing. I hope you all are doing better than I am right now. Good night.